Hi, I'm Jess and this is Monthly Recommendations. Monthly Recommendations is a Goodreads group run by Between Chapters and Kayla Rain, and I will link it down below. And this month's topic is not another love story, and I have less than usual because I had trouble finding it. It's basically stories that aren't just about the romance, and so yeah, let's get started. So first I have The Hamlets Tale by Margaret Atwood, which basically contains no romance apart from in flashback and is horrifying. So if you're looking for something still like cute and fluffy but not romance, this isn't what you want, but it's amazing. Like, it makes you think so much. It's about a society in which women are only valued for their ability to have babies, and a lot of women can't have children, and so they're not valued at all. And yeah, it's really horrifying. I have a review of it, I will link it down below for my more in-depth thoughts about it. Next is Clara by Garth Nix. So it's kind of hinted at that Clara is asexual because she's not interested at all in any romance whatsoever, and it's all about her journey as she moves to this new place and sort of figures out the corruption in this new place. And it's not, there's a guy who has a crush on her, but she has no interest in him whatsoever, so there's no romance in this. Next is The Martian by Andy Weir, and because Mark Watney is on a planet all by himself for the whole book, there's no romance at all, and it's not going to be a focus of this book that has bigger issues than romance. And yeah, so basically it's Mark Watney and he gets stuck on Mars and has to figure out how to survive with food that's not meant to last him as long as he's going to be on Mars, and survive until someone can rescue him. And it's really funny. You would not expect this book to be funny, but it's so funny. Next is The Queen and the Tilling, which also has no romance in it. It's very much about building this world up and having the main character get to grips with being queen now, and like sorting out her uncle and stuff, and more political stuff than romance, and I really enjoyed that. Next is An Ember in the Ashes, which is one that has a tiny little bit of romance, but not a lot. It's like, again, like Clara, people having crushes on people but not anything really coming of it. And yeah, I have a review of this one because I find it really difficult to explain what this one's about, but I think I did it okay in my review, I'm not really sure, so I'll link that down below. Next is Everybody Sees the Ants by A.S. King. It's about a boy who has dreams about his grandfather who was lost in the Vietnam War. I think it was Vietnam, and he has dreams that his grandfather is waiting for to be saved on some island, and everybody else tells him his grandfather's dead and that it's not real, but he doesn't quite believe it, and it's a lot of magical realism and struggling with his mental health, and yeah, it's really good. I read it ages ago though, so I can't really remember what happened. Next is The Isle of the Lost by Melissa de la Cruz. This is a prequel to the film The Descendants, and I definitely recommend you read this one first rather than the other one, but it's more of an adventure story between these four teenagers and how they are dealing with their parents being villains and them not really being sure if they want to be villains, and it's really good. So lastly is The Disreputable History of Frankie Lando Banks by E. Lockhart. This one is a, I'd say, sort of feminist book, and yeah, she does have a romance, but that's not the point of the story. She has a romance, and then that's what makes her question it and question why she can't be in this club that's for only boys because she's a girl. And yeah, it's really interesting, and you're rooting for Frankie, but then you're also thinking she's quite damaged and doing all this stuff is quite weird. And yeah, that was my monthly recommendations for February. If you've got any recommendations for books with no romance in them or just a little bit of romance in them, leave them down below because I did struggle with this month's topic. So I will see you next time. Goodbye.